Starting out in GTA Online and not sure what vehicles to buy, with so many options it's easy to waste money on the wrong ones. Well, in this video we're breaking down the 5 best beginner vehicles that will actually make your life easier, whether you're racing, grinding missions, or just cruising around Los Santos. And while you're doing that, you're going to need to stay protected from others. And the best option for this is the Duke or Death. This is an absolute steal because it's literally free for all players on Warstock Cash and Carry. For a beginner friendly vehicle, it offers incredible durability, taking up to 9 homing missiles, 3 RPGs, and even 7 railgun shots to be destroyed. That's a massive advantage over another beginner vehicle, which we'll talk about later. This muscle car is great for PvE missions, and if you just want to survive in free mode, providing solid protection against gunfire from all sides, especially in the rear of the vehicle. However, where it lacks is in the front windows, as they provide weak spots, which easily makes you vulnerable to NPCs and especially players. So always be mindful of that when trying to stay protected. On top of its durability, the Duke or Death is surprisingly fast, making it a solid all-round choice for new players. There is no reason not to pick this up. And while on the topic of armoured vehicles, the next amazing option is the Armoured Kuruma, which is hands down one of the best budget friendly vehicles in GTA Online, costing just $525,000 with the trade price, or just under 700k without it. The main downside to the Kuruma is that it lacks explosive resistance, unlike the Duke or Death. However, this car excels in PvE combat, offering near bulletproof protection against NPC enemies, which makes it perfect for heists, missions, or just general grinding purposes. Always use the Kuruma for gunfights because you're practically untouchable inside of it. The only downside, if you have people in the back, you can't use any weapons. However, as the driver, you can still dominate any mission with ease, especially when using an AP pistol or an SMG. Beyond its armor, the Kuruma is also fast and agile compared to other armored vehicles. It has solid handling and even allows for some decent off-roading. While it's not built for PvP because it'll take one explosive to be destroyed, for missions and solo grinding, it still remains one of the best vehicles. And even for veteran players, I still use this thing all the time. Plus, it's a 4-seater, so if you're rolling with friends, you can all ride in style while staying protected. If you're new to GTA Online and need a safe, reliable, and affordable vehicles, these 2 options are great. And speaking of, the next great vehicle is the Brickade 6x6. Now, this isn't just a heavily armored truck, it's also home to one of the best businesses in the game, the Acid Lab. Now, while you can just buy it from Warstock Cash and Carry for $1.5 million, there is a much better way to get it for half the price, by completing the first dose missions, which you should be doing anyway, since they pay around 600k with first time bonuses, which is amazing for beginners. Once you do that, you'll unlock the Brickade 6x6 in the Freak Shop. From there, you'll just need to do a quick setup mission for the equipment, and then all you have to do is pay 750k to install the Acid Lab, which gives you access to an insane passive income business. It's low maintenance, meaning you don't need to constantly manage it like other businesses. You simply steal or buy the supplies, let production run, and then sell your stock when it is full, which can make you up to $335,000 per batch. Beyond the business itself, the Brickade 6x6 is an absolute tank. With full armor upgrades, it can withstand a ridiculous 48 homing missiles, as well as over 100 railgun rounds, making it one of the most durable vehicles in the game. Its bullet resistant windows and its beefy ass build makes it difficult for enemies to land shots on you, keeping you safe from pretty much anything. The RAM upgrade is where things get crazy, turning the Brickade into a way more powerful version of the Phantom Wedge, allowing you to obliterate any vehicle in your path with 0 damage to you. On top of that, you can equip it with proximity mines, choosing between kinetic, spike, EMP, or sticky mines. And since it's a service vehicle, you can request it anywhere, making it even more convenient. You can actually do this during the source missions for the supplies, which can come in super clutch. While it's not the fastest option, if you want a nearly indestructible vehicle that doubles as a money-making machine, the Brickade 6x6 is definitely an investment for beginners. While talking about the Brickhead 6x6, I mentioned that you can unlock it by completing first door's missions, but there's another amazing free vehicle that you can get from this process, the Ocelot Virtue. This electric supercar, normally priced at over $2 million, can be earned completely free by completing both the first door's missions and last door's missions, which again is totally worth doing as a beginner. Once you finish the final mission, you'll receive the Virtue as a reward. Sure, it does take some grinding, as there are around 11 or 12 missions in total, but they're relatively quick, especially compared to a full heist. And for a free, high-performance supercar, it's more than worth doing. What makes the Ocelot Virtue even better is its Armani Tech compatibility, because owning an agency later down the line when you stack up your bread, you can install Armani Tech upgrades, including a missile lock-on jammer. This means weaponized vehicles will not be able to target you with homing missiles, making the Virtue one of the fastest and safest vehicles in free mode. So far we've talked about land vehicles. After all, they are the most important, but you also need aircrafts, especially for grinding and traveling, and the best option out there is the Sparrow. It's easily one of the best helicopters in the game. It offers incredible speed, agility and convenience. However, for beginners, the $1.8 million price tag, which is purchased as an add-on for the Kasaka submarine, might seem a little steep, especially including the base price of the Kasaka for $2.2 million. That said, it's one of the smartest purchases you can make in the long run. What makes a Sparrow so powerful is how quickly and easily it can spawn. Unlike most aircraft, which require you to go to a helipad or an airfield, the Sparrow can be spawned almost instantly from the interaction menu under the Kasaka services, and it spawns right next to you. This makes it one of the most convenient aircraft in the game, especially for grinding. In terms of speed, the Sparrow is one of the fastest helicopters, even outpacing the Oppressor Mark II. So whether you need to travel across the map quickly or complete business activities, the Sparrow is going to help a lot with that. Where the Sparrow truly excels is through the Cayo Perico heist prep missions. Since it can be stored inside the Kasaka, you can start a heist setup and immediately leave, avoiding the hassle of spawning other vehicles, which makes the entire process of grinding seem like not a grind at all. For combat, the Sparrow can also be equipped with missiles, which, while not the most accurate, they are still a solid offensive tool, which helps a ton with its lack of armor, because the Sparrow cannot survive explosive damage. Don't get me wrong, buying both the Kasaka for $2.2 million and the Sparrow is expensive for new players, but grinding out the Cayo Perico heist still remains one of the best ways to make solo money. So if you're looking for a vehicle that will save you time and just make your life easier, the Sparrow is a must-have. While the vehicles we've covered so far are some of the absolute best beginner options, there are a couple of other vehicles worth mentioning. Starting with the Buzzard Attack Chopper. It's a classic grinding tool that has remained one of the best beginner-friendly vehicles for years. You can buy it from Warstock Cash and Carry for $1.75 million, but if you own a CEO office, or if you have $50,000 in your bank to register as a VIP, you can spawn it for $25,000 through the SecuroServe menu, making it a must-have for grinding businesses like CEO crates or especially VIP work. The biggest advantage of the Buzzard is its convenience, because unlike the Sparrow, the Buzzard can take a few hits before being destroyed. And while it is slower than the Sparrow, the ability to spawn it anywhere with the interaction menu is an extremely cost-effective and reliable for beginners. If you're just starting out and need a super fast vehicle without breaking the bank, then the Pegasi Batty 801 is literally a no-brainer, costing only $15,000 from Southern San Andreas. This bike is one of the cheapest and fastest for beginners. For a new player who can't afford high-end supercars, the Batty 801 is perfect, especially for completing the daily time trials. You can easily get these done with the Batty, earning you a quick and easy 50k every time, which is a nice money method for beginners. And there we have it. If you found these beginner vehicle recommendations helpful, be sure to check out my video on the best vehicles that every player should own, not just beginners. And I'll see you in the next one.